From the NZ Drummer Podcast and AndrewRooneyDrums.com, it's the Student's Guide to Drum Lessons. Here are your hosts, Chris Dawson and me, Andrew Rooney. And here we are.
Oh, hello there.
Studio B.
Studio B, down in Waiuku.
Yeah, man.
Amazing.
There's a great little setup you got here. Well, not that little, actually.
No, it's...
The last episode we said, this was closing thoughts.
Yep.
And we were trying to wrap everything up. And then, we talked and we thought, there's
more to say.
There's more to talk about.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, for all you listeners, we're back.
Gonna give you some more.
Whether you want it or not. But man, honestly, a couple of things since I talked to you last. I was so happy coming back from the break. Probably going to make people vomit in their mouths a little bit. But I was so happy to be back teaching.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Why would you say that?
I mean, and then I thought, that's quite cheesy, but I don't know how many jobs people would be like bouncing back into work and like, yeah, let's do this. I'm ready.
Yeah, I really think that teaching drums at least is one of those cool jobs.
It is, yeah.
You don't really have like a major boss or something like that to tell you exactly what to do. Your times, I guess it's your own business, isn't it? So you can turn up whenever you want to, sort of thing, as far as like, okay, I'm going to...
I do normally turn up, by the way.
Yeah, that's good. I like that.
Normally.
So your teaching schedule will be from, whatever time you decide to start and whatever time you decide to finish, which is great. It's great. And the other thing I find a lot about teaching, at least privately, is that most of the people want to get taught after school hours or after work hours. So that means that you've got the whole day to go and play drums, basically, and do whatever it is you want to do.
Go to the gym and, drop the kids off at school and, you can be that guy. It's awesome. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Every day I seem to have an experience where I relate everything back to drums or teaching.
Yeah.
You're probably the same.
Yeah, I'm the same.
And I was really thinking about our gear episode. And one of the first lessons I had back was with an adult student.
Right.
And he had forked out a lot of money for a drum kit. His setup would be worth at least 7 times more than mine.
Wow.
Yeah, really, really high-end, expensive gear. He came back to his first lesson and he said, look, I'm just so unhappy with the sound of my kit.
Gosh.
And he said, I really want it to sound like the kit here. And my kit is a Yamaha Stage Custom,
yeah,
which is $1,200 brand new.
Yeah.
From Music Works, and an acrylite snare, which I picked up for $150 secondhand on Trade Me.
Right.
Not trying to make myself look clever and not trying to make him look like an idiot. But, man, I was just like, wow, gear is really curious and a lot of misconceptions around gear.
Absolutely, yeah. I think I mentioned earlier, I was thinking about that concept of if you were a great player, you'd have great gear, and if you weren't a very good player, then you'd have not so good gear. I did have that actual thought when I was younger. Yeah. And I've heard lots of people on what I would consider to be quite dodgy gear, and it still sounds amazing. You go, how does that sound amazing? And then people on the really, really expensive stuff, like, well, that doesn't sound that good comparatively. No. It's like, well, I've got a $4,000 drum kit or whatever, and then somebody else has got a $10,000 drum kit, and what's the difference?
I see expensive gear as a bit of a treat.
Absolutely.
Not necessarily going to really make you sound better at all. You like it. The finish is possibly going to be really nice, and it's very customized and beautiful. You're probably going to be more drawn to the kit. You might spend a bit more time on it because you just enjoy it.
Yeah.
Like a nice car.
That's right, exactly.
A nice car is still just going to get you from A to B.
That's right.
Like a Toyota Corolla will.
Exactly. Yeah, that's right.
But anyway, I thought that was interesting, and I certainly don't want to be out here embarrassing my students with stuff like that. But it was like, man, that really illustrates the point.
That's right, yeah. I still like the idea of getting the budget sort of stuff. Well, not budget stuff, but lower end sort of things, and learn your trade, and learn to tune drums, learn to, what different heads sound like, all that sort of information that's really, really important, so that if you do end up buying like a very expensive something or other, then you'll know whether it is actually a really good snare drum or whether it's a bad snare drum, because you know how to tune and
And certainly the longer I play, and I've noticed this with our friends, the less people care.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I know one drummer that used to be up at Drum City. He had a really beautiful DW kit, but he was on tour quite often, and the drum was so beat up. It was so beat up, but it sounded amazing. It was often asked for or requested on recordings from other bands and stuff. Can you bring that DW drum along?
From the way he sounds on it, though?
I don't know. No, I'm unsure about that. I think it was used just in the studio because it sounded good in the studio for whoever was playing it, but it was so beat up. Not a good looking drum by any means, but it was still sounded amazing,
Anyway, I just thought
I like it. I would definitely say that our job is probably one of the best jobs ever, I think.
Yeah.
It is so good.
It actually is my dream job.
Yeah. I've never got up in the morning and thought that I didn't want to do this job.
No.
And I have done that with other jobs. I've actually, I've been, doing quite a lot of other jobs throughout before I fully went into drums.
Yeah.
And there was quite a few mornings that I'd wake up and I'd go, I really, really don't want to go.
Yeah. How many sick days have I got left?
That's right.
Let's use 2 of them this week.
And things like I find with things like holidays, for instance, like my wife, she likes to go on holidays and we always have to sort of compromise because I don't want to have holidays.
I'm the same.
Because it's like, but if I go away on holidays, then I don't get to play my drums.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, if I can't get on the drums at least once every second day, I'll die.
I think that's just one of those things that happens with like people that are really into whatever it is they're doing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so holidays are kind of taxing. It's like, wow, can I actually afford to be away from my instrument for that long?
Sorry, babe, if you're with me, holidays are off the table.
Yeah, that's right. So I usually take practice pad sticks. I'm with, or I used to take a pad and sticks. So my sticks have been, quite a few places around the world. So they've gone to India and they've been to Canada and.
Come on, kids! Before we hit the markets today, we're going to do our hours of.
That's right, exactly. And then I'd have my whatever book I was working on at the time, probably Wilcoxon's 150 solos, that sort of thing, trying to go through those. Just to, do like a couple of solos in the morning and a couple of solos before I went to bed, in the apartments that we're at.
No. Okay, I thought I was bad, but maybe I'm not as bad as I thought. Oh, actually, man, the other thing I thought would be good, especially if people are coming to this late.
Yep.
Or maybe they just are starting here because they think, I'm a bit more interested in this topic. Can you sort of give us a quick rundown on your, I guess, background and qualifications? Because we tried to do that, but then we talked about it and we hadn't really done it.
That's right. We're sort of foolish, weren't we?
Yeah. I mean, it's very un-Kiwi to talk yourself up and say, hey, I got this, I got that, I got that. But,
that's right.
I mean, otherwise, why would anyone want to listen to us?
Exactly. So I've been playing for 27 years, I think. Lots of gigs that I've done. Then I ended up going to university. I did a Bachelor of Performing Arts, and then I did honours, and then I did a Master's. So I've got my Master's in Jazz Performance. It's basically all my qualifications.
And one important thing, especially with you being in Waiuku now, people might not be aware of how many great drummers in the scene at the moment that you taught.
Yes.
And people might be surprised.
Yeah.
Do you want to give us a bit of a roll call on some of the drummers that...
I feel bad about that.
Oh. Well, I'm asking, it's me prompting it. So.
Okay. So I think that when I look at the guys that have become really, really good that I've taught, I always feel that they were going to be good.
Yep.
I've definitely had, at some point I had a hand in, the education, which hopefully I did well enough to get them to where they are. So let me see. I've taught a bunch of people.
I'll get you rolling,
okay,
man.
Right.
Adam Toby.
Yes, I taught Adam for a while. Tom Leggett
taught me a couple.
Taught you a couple. Yeah.
I wasn't listening. But.
Yeah. You bad student. Who else is a guy called Albert Lee, who's like a really amazing young drummer.
See, this is the thing when we start actually saying names.
Yes,
this is the problem.
Yeah.
And then 5 minutes after we stop recording, we go, "What are we doing?"
Yeah. There's a few. Tristan Deck, Frank Gibson Jr. Oh man, there's quite a few. I can't think of all of them.
A few of the boys have brought that up.
Yeah.
Not everybody knows everybody.
That's right.
And if someone doesn't know who you are, they might not be aware of the role that you've had in the career of other people.
I got that from Rex McLeod, just the way of trying to get your information across, and then, finding the thing that the student wants to do, and giving them the right information. I think I did quite well with a bunch of guys, at least. There's quite a few of the uni guys I've taught,
Yep.
Been really good for me. It's you sort of, a positive affirmation, I guess. You can see that, well, I'm actually doing something right. You're actually helping people out.
Cool.
That's cool. Great. What about you?
Yeah, just quickly on me again, I did the same uni course that you did.
That's right.
I did the degree. That's all I've done since that time, which is around 2006. I think I started there. Living the dream, as they say.
The dream.
Absolutely awesome.
That's right.
Great.
Exactly.
And I've got my own teaching space now in Scotty Pearson's building. Couldn't be happier.
Yeah.
Right.
Excellent.
Oh, yeah.